What's up, guys? Bringing you another episode of Learning to Art with your boy Izzy the Artist. This time, we're gonna be getting into a crazy, evil emote, and I'm pretty excited to do it. We'll be modifying the "Look at Me Now" emote that we went over last week, and trying to make it look a lot different. So just follow me through this and enjoy the journey. Alright, and as you can see, one of the first things that I started editing were the eyes, taking care of the little red that I added on the last image, and then also doing some other little things like curving them just a little bit to make them seem a little more evil, you know what I mean, or angry, if you will. And after finishing up the brows, I'm gonna go for the mouth, man. Like, as you can see, I did a little weird shape to kind of sketch out the mouth, but from here on, I'm drawing circles and I'm erasing them, creating half circles to make these nice curves up on the face that I need. And then I can finish it up by bringing the G pen to it and making a few quick slight touches. You know, I feel like that's maybe the easiest way for me to do this on mouse and keyboard. I've been switching things up a lot. I've been doing things a lot differently lately. Been learning a lot from other artists, and I know that like you should be coloring on other layers now. But at this time, I had no idea. You know, it was more like a painting, or I guess I treated it more like a painting than anything else, where I just colored over things and kind of just made it work that way. But I am practicing a new form. You can see those updates coming later in the coming weeks, of course. definitely thought I heard something right here. I finally finished the teeth pretty much. I just gotta add the coloring in, and as you can see, things are a little crooked, but we'll get to those fixes a bit later. Right now it's just a touching up, making sure that I got all the blacks filled, the teeth filled, and the mouth looks exactly like a mouth. And then we're gonna add the details. And I was thinking, or I guess just trying to experiment with different things. I decided to add like the individual teeth, and let's see exactly how this goes in a second. Alright, and then in order to make it look just like me, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the gap is popping off, so I decided to add that in this piece specifically, since the teeth were showing and I was making them individual. Anyway, figured out to add the gap and really drive home the fact that it's your homie Izzy the artist, man. I add these graph lines whenever I can, just to kind of make sure that things are nice and aligned. Things aren't like we don't have one side of the mouth higher than the other, which I noticed actually that we did right here. And always make sure that you take time to pop up on a little dance, you know? And now I'm adding the hair. As you can see, I decided to go with something crazy in terms of the hair. It's like flying up and all over the place, as opposed to laying down or like the wind kind of acting upon it just lightly. Like the other art pieces that I've done, I decided to do something just a little bit different and challenge myself in that sense. So as when going for this, I also had to discover a new way to individualize each lock. Since it's floating all crazy, I didn't want it to seem like it was just I don't know, like hair, just any sort of hair flying up. I wanted it to be like saw as locks for the most part. For anybody who saw the finished art piece, they know exactly what I'm saying or what I was going for in the final product. And like I said, I was just experimenting with the mouth. Right here, I'm trying to get it together because it still seems unaligned. But yeah, I just decided to delete the entire thing because it just wasn't working. So, delete. As you can see, I changed the eyes right here red, so things it really like livened up the piece a lot. I did it earlier just to make me able to visualize it a little better, and then now I'm adding this new mouth, and I actually got the reference piece from Google, and I'll actually show you the exact piece on here a bit later, so just stay tuned. Alright, and here's the reference piece that I decided to use. I wanted to go for just the mouth, so I actually didn't take anything else from this piece aside from that. And I'm just using it as exactly that reference, something to, well, actually you see me trace it, but just to get the shape down. As I said before, I'm on mouse and keyboard, so it's a lot harder to make those curves. As you can see, like I'll spend a lot of time kind of fixing the lines. You can see it's a real wavy right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and smooth all of that out before I move on to the teeth and the other pieces like shading and things like that. always good to experiment. I was just testing to see if a nose could fit on this character, if I wanted a nose even on this emoji of me. Like as I always do on each of my art pieces, I always like to experiment, see what I might be able to get away with, and yeah, I'll continue to do that because I discover new things that way. Like with the eyes, this is a totally new thing for me. It's just kind of editing the eyes as opposed to like drawing brand new ones, and I thought that it turned out pretty cool, and a lot of people can't really tell that it's the same eyes from the most recent image.
Farewell, sweet cookie cats. I'll always remember the time we spent together.
Now that I got the line smoothed out for the most part, just getting that throat shade in, it was really difficult for me. I couldn't exactly figure it out, how to get that dark in there. I guess this is the first time I'm really using the blend tool on something aside from just the face. And I think I was able to figure it out in the end, but it's definitely a lot. It was definitely a lot more work than I expected, and but I'm glad I went for it.
Hush now.
This is for you. Away.
And always remember to stay hydrated, guys. Always take a break. Take that little sip of water. You know how we do it out here, bro. Stay hydrated. Alright, and now we're adding the shade to the eyes. Really, since these are different eyes, there's something else I was kind of going for. Because there'll be no pupils, I kind of wanted it to just glow at you. And I feel like the final version was an awesome way of going about it. There's probably a few things that I could fix with shading wise, lighting wise maybe. I don't think I added too much lighting into the eyes, but I like the way it turned out. Check this out. Just this little bit of shading that I add right under the lip makes it seem so much more like a lip and like it's pronounced and things like that. These are things that I'm learning just through digital art. My coloring background is none. I just never used to color my images at all because I had no idea where to start with coloring, how to separate things or anything like that. But when there's actual color added, as opposed to just being black and white, it's a lot easier to see what needs to change and what needs to stay the same. especially when you're using reference material, you're able to make those very important distinctions. And now this is the first time I'm doing lighting, so I'm working on a little bit of the lighting here. As you can see, I wanted some crinkles up in the cheeks, or wrinkles, or whatever you want to call them. And then I also wanted to add lighting around the jaw area, but I decided that's not actually the best idea for right now. It's always great to do it as you can visualize the entire thing, and since the upper half was mostly complete, it was a little easier for me to visualize where the light should go. As you can see, I wanted the light source to be coming from the left side, so I added most of my shading over to the right, and especially when shading like the jaw and the mouth and things like that. And then I'm adding the lighting, of course, to the lips, because light will reflect or bounce off of the lips. If you got them moist, keep them moist. That's a choice. And then I'll hit the blend tool to make things look a little more natural, naturally illuminated, and things like that. And as you can see, the last couple of things that I wanted to do was just add some more shading to the eyes to make them really stand out, along with some highlights on the eyes and some things like that. Most importantly, always remember to hydrate and remember the time for the news. And now we're adding the highlight to complete the image. I wanted to add a bottom highlight so you understand that it's not the actual eyeball, but it's just light bouncing off of it. And yeah, I think it turned out right in a sense. If someone told me that they thought it still looked like the eyeballs or the iris, I wouldn't be shocked. But then we can move on to the highlights on the hair. Alright guys, and pretty much it's done after this. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been your man's IzzyDGamer and all of that. I hope you enjoyed my little art thing. Thanks for watching me as I'm learning art, or as I'm on my art journey, man. Make sure you check out Kaj __arts over on Twitch. She's an amazing art streamer. I'll be sure to start shouting out some amazing artists every once in a while. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Bye.